live connection does not require any refresh, but as a direct query mode requires still refresh. The reason why I asked you this question is you're talking about a date master, right? So imagine that in a company, the calendar table has to be managed by clients. Like when should I give off? What is a corporate holiday? What is the vacations? So I need to keep on updating my data master. And if this date master has to be fed to multiple teams, like every single team has to use the date master that is designed by clients. In that case, I can go with live mode. So if I can connect to a live mode, you can either connect to a data flows, already a published data flows that can become a live connection, right? Or you have a data marts that also can become a live connection, right? This is live connection. But what you're specifically talking about a direct query mode, that you're bringing from a database, SQL
Okay,
server, or
okay,
it could be cloud. Okay, that's a small correction. Okay, now
okay. Yeah.
what access that you have to publish your report? So what in your project, what access they had given you to publish your report to your Power BI service?
It was a pro license, Power
Mm-hmm.
BI Service Pro license. So I was having the access of editor.
Do you have a role like editor?
Oh, no, no, no.
I think there is a different name. It's not editor,
Yeah,
it's
it's contributor. Yeah,
contributor. Okay.
yeah,
So what are the
contributor.
roles you have?
In Power BI, like we have about four different types of roles:
Mm-hmm.
admin, member, contributor, and viewer.
Okay. Okay. Now, uh, let's say that you were talking about a million records and the report is taking more time. So imagine every user has to be look at only their location data. Can you tell me how you can achieve it? For example, you're in India, you can look only India report. Your colleague who
Hmm.
is in US can see only US reports. How do you manage this?
Using row level security.
Okay, what is row level security? How
So
do you achieve that?
yeah. So row level security, it actually restricts data for specific users. So based on, it might be region wise or it might be location wise, based on whatever the parameter is present. It might be through different email domains as well. So in Power BI, we have two types of row level security, static and dynamic. Like if I want the report to be provided for, let's say, 3 to 4 locations, then in that case, I would go with the static, where manually I need to define each and every, whether this region is equal to east, then only east report needs to be shown for the east users. So in this way, static I would apply. Otherwise, if there are more locations, then in that case, I would go with the dynamic, where I would use the user principal name DAX function, and through it I would define the location, and accordingly I would once I publish the report, then in Power BI service in the workspace, I would assign the roles, like to whom the report should be sent. So yeah, in this way I would provide the access.
Okay. Now, let's say that this is okay, this is possible. Now, you have a visual which has sales details, and you have another visual which is called profit. Okay. Now,
Okay.
I don't want the users to see the profit. Certain users, I don't want to see the profit. Now, RLS will not be applicable because RLS is like a row level. But here, I want to restrict the complete column. The profit is a column, sales is a column. Is it possible in Power BI?
I have not gone through such scenario still. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So just go through it. Okay, this is something which every
yeah.
company nowadays is using. There is an
Okay.
option called OLS, just like your
Yeah.
RLS.
Object level security.
Okay,
Yeah.
RLS,
Yeah.
yes, that's. I mean, straight away I cannot ask what is OLS, but I would have asked you in a different scenario. The scenario is, what if each user has to give, we have access to certain columns and certain columns has to be restricted. In that case, you have an object level security. Okay, so just go through
Yes.
that. That will help you. Okay, now I think I've covered most of the Power BI questions which I had, which I have faced in current projects. That is why I wanted to ask you. So, what experience you have in Azure Data Factory, and have you, in the recent times, have you explored anything on Fabric? What do you see that Fabric as?
Yeah. So, for Fabric, I would say I have only about like I have explored few things on Fabric. Like I have explored the data factory part in Fabric. So where I've created pipelines and data flows for one of the project. So I have not worked much on it, but very basic transformations like deleting some values or renaming the columns or making some basic calculations like adding or subtraction. So the such part I have done in Fabric. But speaking about Azure and Azure Data Factory, so that also part I have worked quite few for the recent project. So yeah, there also I have created the similar structure like pipelines and data flows in Azure Data Factory.
Okay, any workaround, any small projects? Have you experimented anything in Fabric?
Not like small project. Like I would say, as I have mentioned, like I have done few things like just taking a sample data like for practice purpose. I usually use the superstore data and that so for taking that data and I made some transformations into the data like I try to delete the null values, rename the columns, make the calculation for calculating the sales column. So these basic parts like for self purpose, not specifically for a project.
Okay, okay, okay. That's good to know. We are mainly looking for SQL and Power BI, and added advantage will definitely be there when you are aware of Fabric, because Fabric is going to be the future. So good that you have already experimented. Yeah, and yeah, thanks, Priya. I'm good with the discussion, and this will be your first round. Okay, and I basically wanted to touch upon your experience on Power BI, which I have done it. So, do you like to ask me any questions? Any thoughts on the next things? What do you have for me?
Yes. So, like I have gone through the job description, and that is fine with me. But I want to like understand like what domains will I be working, and
We
where
are,
I
yeah. See, we are hiring for a generalized role. Like once you get into the team, like we will see that which clients have requested for an additional resource, what type of reports they are building. So then once you come into a company, we will try to put into your project. Again, you will have another small discussion with the clients. So it could be retail, it could be health, it could be telecommunication, or it could be e-commerce. So these are the top four domains that we deal with. We have good number of clients who are working under this domain. So one among this you will get into it, and if you clear this, in the next round you will be told more about the role, and then from there onwards we'll take forward.
okay, sure. Yeah, it was good to talking to you.
Yeah. So a few things which I want to tell. Of course, the HR would have given you a good detailed feedback, but since I'm here as a technical person, I would like to give you a few feedbacks, right? So the first thing is the way you are presenting. Yes, it's good, right? But I would ask you to focus on some of the basics, right? So because this is all very important. When I say that, how do you get the data? Like you need to understand what is the difference between a direct query mode and a live mode, right? Both look similar, but you need to understand what is at key importance, right? So that is important, and you yourself would have thought that, okay, I can restrict rows, why can't I restrict columns, why can't I restrict tables? Is there any option to do that? You should have researched, right? So even if you don't get that opportunity to work in your projects, or if you have not worked, that's fine. You have in front of you internet, you can always go and explore. So one of the best place to go through all of your learning is community, right? And your
Yes.
Microsoft documentation. So Microsoft documentation is an excellent document where you can get all of these details. And whatever I was asking, how do you implement RLS, how do you implement OLS, all of this has been having a detailed description. So that is one thing. And slightly improve your confidence, right? Even if you don't know the answer, on the face you can say I did not work, like rather than going bit low in voice. So try to be bit more confidence, right? that's fine. Not everyone will know everything, right? So depending on your experience, what you have worked, you would definitely answer it. But whatever you don't know, you can just put it in a polite way that, yeah, I did not get opportunity to work on this. You can tell immediately rather than taking a bit of 5 10 seconds delay. If you have worked, you tell you have worked. If you have not worked, you tell you don't work, right? So all of these corrections you can definitely take as a feedback, right? And yeah, I would still consider this as a good interview where you were tested on some of the core subject of Power BI, right? So good that you were able to tackle it. And this is all about today's interview, and we'll get back you for the next rounds. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it and definitely upskill myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so
thank you.
much.